Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to today's show. I'm your host Mike. Welcome to the Patriot Angle Podcast. Guys, we got a lot to talk about. A lot. I want to get into the topic that literally just hit my desk this morning. This new strategy that Snapchat, is it Snapchat? Yeah, excuse me. And basically eliminate drug dealers before they get, before they put their product, their illegal products on the platform. Excuse me. I just literally poured my cup of coffee. 1 second, guys. Good stuff. Anyway. Snapchat is facing increasing criticism in recent years as the opioid crisis continues to play out on social media. And it's often with tragic results, guys. In October, an NBC investigation reported the stories of a number of young people aged as young as 13 to 23 who died after purchasing fentanyl-laced pills on Snapchat. Earlier that month, Snapchat parent company, Snap, which is affiliated with Snapchat, just eliminating the chat at the end of it, committed to improving its ability to detect illegal drug sales on the social network, and began ushering users who searched for drug-related content to an educational harm reduction portal. Guys, guys, I know everybody likes to have fun. I know everybody likes to explore their horizons. But guys, this is not the 70s. This is not the 80s. This is not the 60s. Times are different. You cannot put this crap on social media and harm our youth. Not only are you going to get caught, you're going to get busted, and you're going to get thrown in jail. It's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. Especially for these young teenagers that are basically building their path to success, a lifestyle as an adult. It's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. You're too young to go through this crap. Also, too, guys, I want to put a notation that Snapchat provided a glimpse at its progress this past Tuesday, noting that the 88% of the drug-related content it finds is now identified proactively by automated systems. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal. With the community reporting accounting for the other 12%, Snap, its partnered or parent company, says this number is up by a third since its October update. Wow. It's also indicating that the more of this content is being detected before being identified by users. That's great, guys. It's great. We want to have these platforms safe for our teenagers, safe for everybody to use, without spam, without illegal drug activity. And not only on Snapchat, like I said, on Facebook, on Instagram, the number of cases we've seen over the years with drug-related activity has gone off the roof, off the chart, guys. Also, too, guys, since this past fall, right, we have also seen another important indicator of progress, a decline in community report content related to drug sales. Snap wrote also in a blog, folks, in their blog post in September, over 23% of drug-related reports from Snapchatters contained content specifically related to sales. And as a result of proactive detection work, they have driven that down to 16% of this past month. Folks, this marks a decline of 31% in drug-related reports. And they're going to continue in working to keep this number as low as possible. That's phenomenal, folks. Phenomenal. Now, as we learn that Snapchat and other social media platforms using Snapchat, because Snapchat, along with all the other platforms, have had problems over the years. Mainly, like I said, using the platform to sell drugs to minors and college students, for that matter. So that's great, guys. We're also learning that Snapchat is launching new tools to crack down on illicit drug sales on its platform. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration published a warning last month about the dangers of pills purchased online that contain fentanyl. And we all know what fentanyl is, folks. It's a synthetic opioid that is deadlier in much smaller doses. That's what we have a problem in this country, is the fentanyl. Fentanyl is everywhere, folks. It's in pills, it's in food, it's in liquid matter. It's just about all over the place. All over the place. So as more as we learn about the problems on social media, the more we can tackle it, right, folks? I mean, that's of youth are the ones that are going to suffer from all of this crap. And we can't have that. We can't have that. More on this topic right after these words, guys. Don't go anywhere. Patriot, unfiltered, raw. Hey guys, this show today is brought to you by Priceline.com. Head over to Priceline, guys. They have deals that are better than ever. I mean, some of these deals you're going to see that they haven't had before. With rental cars, such as low as $10.99 a day. Guys, $10.99 a day? You can't beat it. For a rental car, especially for the prices in rental cars today. They're through the roof, right? Through this whole COVID hysteria, right? They also have deals with flights, right? And you can also get deals with hotels. Guys, Priceline's been around for years. Okay? We love them. We use them on the show. I use it to book hotels. I use it for flights. I use it for just about everything, guys. Head over to Priceline.com. Get the deals, folks, before they expire. Because once they expire, that's it. You just have to wait for the next deal, right? Priceline.com. Love them. Head over there today.
This episode is brought to you by Microsoft Azure. Turn your ideas into reality with an Azure free account. Get everything you need to develop apps across cloud and hybrid environments, scale workloads, create cloud-connected mobile experiences, and so much more. Discover what you can create with popular services free for 12 months. Learn more at azure.com. That's AZURE.com. And sign up for a free account to start building in the cloud today.
Fee overdraft with SpotMe. If you need a little extra cash at the end of the month, it's there. Up to $200 when you set up direct deposit.
Oh my wants to be the next celebrity, everyone wants to be the next top Insta model, and you just need the money. 15 rich this is one place to get excited. Oh, no, too far.
With fraud and scamming on the rise, criminal gangs are always on the lookout for people willing to lend them their bank accounts to receive and withdraw that unlawful cash. The people whose bank accounts are being used by these fraudsters are called money mules.
They said within 3-4 days there'll be like $4 grand in your account and you can have 5.
But why would people let criminals use their bank account when it could result in paying the price for someone else's crime? More often than not, this presents a red flag for banks, which can get you blacklisted and done for money laundering, which could land you in jail for up to 14 years. I want to investigate this new crime trend by speaking to the police, the victims, and also the recruiters, manipulating people online to launder cash.
Guys, what the hell is happening with this platform? You know, I plugged into earlier today with the problem with the drugs, right, on Snapchat, and just a certain platform I'm seeing all over the internet. Snapchat. The rise of money launderers on Snapchat and also Instagram too. They're using these mainly two platforms. Instagram and also Snapchat. We've seen some problems with Facebook and Twitter along the years, but these two new platforms, right? Because they're fairly new. Facebook's been around for a while, and Twitter's been around for a while. Instagram and Snapchat are fairly new, right? In the last decade, give or take, right? So why not use the new platforms, right? I mean, do I agree with it? No, I'm just using that for an example, right? These two platforms, Instagram and Snapchat, are mainly favored by younger Americans, right? The younger youth of this country. So why are we seeing an increased crime on these two platforms? The question is silent on that issue, folks, right? What is the Biden administration planning on doing about this? Because we never hear about anything on crime waves happening on social media. We never hear the tackling issues they plan on doing about it. We've heard it through the Trump administration, but we've never heard it through the Biden administration. It's like they don't have an answer to anything. I mean, did anybody see the press briefing with Biden the other day? I mean, if you checked out my social media, I can basically tell you, I posted this little boy that basically, I didn't do it to make fun of the little boy. I got a lot of criticism on that. But if you understood the meaning and the message behind it, you can understand where I was going, right? It was a meme, right, on how Biden basically sounds when he talks in his press briefings. And that's what we get, folks. Baffling. When people ask him a question, about a key issue that needs to be addressed to the nation, he goes on to something else. Well, we can do this and we can do that. Did you check the job numbers? Did you check come on, Joe, we're not talking about the jobs. We're talking about important stuff like social media crime. These kids being introduced to drugs at young ages of 13, sometimes younger than that. I mean, I'm sorry, folks. When I hear stuff like this, it upsets my heart that these young kids, are being introduced to this crap. Sure, I mean, children back in the 60s, and I'm sure earlier than that, explored their horizons with, stuff like marijuana and, alcohol and stuff like that. But it was controlled, folks. It was controlled because, you had simple-minded parents that raised their children differently back then, and did not allow their children to basically walk the streets alone, okay? Because if you look at neighborhoods today versus neighborhoods back then, folks, there's a huge comparison. A huge comparison. I can tell you when I was a kid, okay? When I was a child, we didn't have to worry about going down the neighborhood and hanging out with our friends. We didn't have to worry about drive-by shootings that you see today. We didn't have to worry about high rises of crime in our neighborhoods. We didn't have to worry about, stuff that you see on social media because it wasn't around then, folks. We didn't have social media. We didn't have the internet. The internet, when I was a child, was just being introduced, right? The internet, we had dial-up internet. It was basically coming out around 94, right around 1995 when we had the dial-up internet. And this was basically cutting-edge technology to us. I mean, we've never seen it before. It was like, whoa, check this out, And then it exploded from there, right? It went on to its new horizon. But, half the stuff that you had then that you have now, it's totally different, folks. You have children today that are not only cussing their parents out, talking to their parents like they're like these kids are like damn near adults. I mean, sure, you had kids, even back then that kind of badmouth their mother, but the only time you would see that is if the kid grew up in a in a rough area or something like that. You knew that the kid had a rough upbringing, which was normal. I mean, that's hey, that defined a city kid versus a suburb kid. The suburbs kids that they were a little bit more educated versus the city kid. And I'm not putting any type of downplay with that, folks. That's just the way it was. That's the way it was. That's how you knew the difference. Now these kids, even kids growing up in the suburbs, are talking like kids that are growing up in the city. You have kids as young as 5, 6, 7 years old, bad-mouthing their parents, talking to their parents like they're pieces of crap, okay? You have these kids that are cussing, literally saying shit that, an adult would say. How come you're not giving me the fucking PlayStation? I wanted this fucking, folks, this is what you're hearing from these kids' mouths. It's terrible. Straight up terrible. And the parents allow it. So are we to blame of social media, or are we to blame of the parents? I've said this on a lot of key issues on the show that, I believe it's a little mixture of both. Well, for one, it's the parents, are to be blamed. The social media has a lot of take on that issue, right? They use social media, these kids, to basically extend their horizons in life, advance their childhood. Because I can tell you right now, folks, that the childhood today of these kids are so much more advanced than when I was a child. They are. You have 10-year-old folks that are acting as if they're in their late 20s, early 30s right now. I mean, you can't make this shit up. I see it all the time. I walk down the street and I see these kids talking to their parents, like I said, like they're a piece of crap, and the parents will cave to them. The parents will go out and they'll get them the PlayStation, the latest technology that's on the market, and they'll let them get their way. I raised my mouth like that, folks. And you know what I would get? I would get a simple slap upside the head. And that was that. Now you hit these kids today, the kids, I'm going to call the cops, I'm going to call up child services and blah, blah. I mean, the parents today, they're afraid of their kids. There's no discipline. And that's the problem, folks. That's the problem. And what does this have to do with what we're talking about today? A lot. A lot. That's why you have kids today that grow up and they're lost. It links to a lot of different things in life. Kids grow up, they join gangs in their 20s and, they run the streets, they become criminals, they get locked up. Sometimes they become homeless, they become drug addicts, alcoholics, a lot of different things. A lot of different things. The way they turn into that type of lifestyle is to be blamed on their early lifestyle, their childhood, the way they were raised. It's like the parents just didn't give a crap. They didn't give a crap. They let them basically do what they wanted to do. And that's not a life, folks. That's terrible. If you're going to allow your child to do whatever the hell they damn well please, that's terrible. That's terrible. And then the story here that we're talking about, I'm shocked. I can tell you why I'm shocked. I'm shocked that people on social media, okay, are even the simple criminal. To go this avenue, I'm shocked that people on social media are offering easy money to these children. They're targeting our youth, folks. Do you understand what's going on? Seriously, do you understand what the hell is going on? Don't they realize that the cops won't just bust in and arrest them after 1 or 2 times? They may investigate you for at least a year. They record your every move you make. Then once they have the encyclopedia of evidence for the crimes you committed, then they'll arrest you and give you 20 years for that crime. Don't these people understand that this is social media and there's a surveillance on every platform that you use, that you choose to have? Now, I'm not trying to warn the criminals, but damn near. If you're gonna sell a nickel bag or some kind of like bag of weed or something, don't they do it the old-fashioned way? Go in the city or, hey man, you want to buy a joint or something? Not that I'm like influencing it in any way, but we have the most stupidest criminals in America. And I don't support this whatsoever, folks. I don't support this. But don't these people understand that this is social media and they're going to get caught? Like, what don't they understand? Don't they understand this crap? Like, they're not going to get away with it. You're going to get busted, guys. You're going to go to jail. Drug charges are, not like, a little slap on the wrist and, you get out. Well, depending on where you're at, you're... But this is bad stuff, folks. Bad stuff. I want to plug in another video. We're talking about social media, the crime on social media, the kids that are being basically introduced to this type of lifestyle. It's bad, folks. It's really, really bad. And my heart goes out to these children, because some of these kids, they're not bad kids. They're just in a lifestyle of just destruction. They're in a lifestyle of neglection by their parents. Some of these parents, they don't care. They don't care that these kids are in this type of lifestyle. Social media, folks, is great. Don't get me wrong. It's great. But it's also dangerous if you don't use it correctly. You know. And, I mean, just look, folks. We're running low on time here. I wanted to keep the podcast simple and short here to get to the point here. And this is a key issue, folks. It's a key issue that needs to be addressed. Because we need to wake up our youth. We need to wake up our parents from stop poisoning our generation of youth into this social media crime wave that we are seeing all over the country. Check this video out, guys. I want to plug into the video here about this Snapchat dealer. He's busted. He got busted. This was out in, Tucson, Arizona, right? Just a couple months ago. Check this out. This is a range of narcotic drugs dealers that are using social media, targeting our youth. And I mean, this is look like an older teenager, but you know, I mean, this is what's going on, folks. Check this out. This is what's going on in our society of America.
In fact, some people use it to purchase illegal drugs. The problem is those drugs could kill you. News 4 Tucson's Lupita Maria with the story you'll see only on 4.
Snapchat is a messaging app where people can share videos and pictures, and within 24 hours, it's gone. Or is it?
Say this is the #1 platform right now where drugs and weapons are being sold and traded.
This officer works with an undercover unit closely monitoring Snapchat drug sales. He asks we protect his identity. He says the dealers often advertise they're selling legal medications.
They'll advertise that they're real prescription pills, but the thing is, unless you're getting it from a pharmacy, you never know what you're buying.
Tucson Police Detective Dan Roberts, assigned to the Counter Narcotic Alliance's Narcotic and Violent Crime Unit, just got a 4-count indictment for 22-year-old Aaron Stephen Kay. The charges range from sale of narcotic drug to manslaughter. Last September,
we had an overdose of a 25-year-old male.
Detectives went through his cell phone.
We were able to identify who sold him an M30 pill the evening before.
That person was Aaron Stephen Kay. He was arrested in October for selling drugs. He bonded out. While out on bond in January,
he was using Snapchat to sell narcotics, specifically M30 pills.
Undercover officers made 2 buys of M30.
Guys, I gotta stop it right there. This is bad stuff. Bad stuff. I mean, look at this now. These children, they're having their names exposed. They're having criminal charges on them. Folks, this is bad stuff. Very, very bad stuff. I mean, when will the parents wake up and monitor their children more? I know you can't eliminate social media. It's all over the place, guys. But at least the parents can monitor their children correctly, okay? Set passwords a little bit better. I mean, you know, mainly, you know, like I said, monitor the activity a lot better. You know, set boundaries for your kids. Let's bring back the parenting that we once seen in the early days, you know, like in the 80s and 70s and 60s, when parents actually raised their children correctly. Right? Let's bring those days back. Let's actually give a damn, parents. Let's give a damn about our kids, because your kids are being poisoned by an advanced set of technologies such as social media. It's time to protect our generation. It's time to protect our youth. This is going on way too far, folks. Way too far. I want to close it out right there. Okay? Guys, I hope you tuned into the podcast I did yesterday. I had a really, really good podcast. You have to check that out. A lot of good feedback on that podcast. A lot. We got into a lot of different key issues with that podcast. a lot of my listeners are basically saying that we should make a part 2 of that podcast. Okay, I always take suggestions. But if anybody tuned into that was, what am I saying yesterday? Today is Friday already. Jeez, the week is going on way too fast. This podcast was Wednesday, because I didn't have a podcast yesterday. Yesterday was Thursday. This was past Wednesday. Anybody tuned into that episode 191, the trucking industry now required to get the jab. Yeah, that was a very, very good podcast. We're thinking about doing a part 2 of that. Not sure. It's still in the thought process of that. But if you would like to check out that podcast, like I said, I had a really, really good feedback, a lot of good feedback on that show. You can head to my website, patriotanglepodcast.com. And on the top of that website, you'll see a section where it'll say episodes. I have a Spotify link, and I also have a Apple link. The reason why I use both of those links, guys, is because those are the 2 popular podcast platforms today, Apple and Spotify. So whatever podcast link that you choose to listen, whether it's Spotify, Apple, maybe even Google. We're on Google. You can search us on Google. Check out our website, guys. It's on the website. Also, please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or Google, and get up-to-date episodes as they launch on the platforms. Also, too, guys, you can check us out on our Facebook pages. We have a group page, Unfiltered Patriot Nation. You can join the group page. It's completely free. We don't charge a dime. Like I said, completely free. If you want to see patriotic, conservative content, it's on that group page, guys, as well as our Facebook page. Another great page, the Patriot Angle Podcast, with our affiliation with U.S. Freedom Fighters. Yes, a lot of our content is posted on U.S. Freedom Fighters. You want to check out that. As well as our Instagram page, Patriot_Angle_Unfiltered. Also, too, guys, we have a merchandise page. Yes, we're all over the place, guys. We want to make sure that our content has a lot of options for the listener, and the follower. So you can check out our merchandise page, which is patriotunfiltered.com. Yes, patriotunfiltered.com. Check us out over there. We have a lot of good merch. A lot of good deals and a lot of good promos are on that. We have a promo code that's still available. I believe it's expiring next week. Yes, Super 10. If you use Super 10, you get 10% off your order. As well as Unmask, you'll get free shipping. So you want to use those promo codes before they expire, guys. A lot of good deals. With that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in to today's podcast. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one. Thanks a lot, guys.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.